for on this final lap. And on the inside, Hinchcliffe is going over and under. Oh, he is in the mayor's office. James Hinchcliffe runs it to the line, and he wins his second one on the final corner, on the final lap. James Hinchcliffe is a winner again.
After earning his first 3 IndyCar wins in 2013, James Hinchcliffe struggled last season with just 1 podium finish.
Last year was obviously tough because the results weren't there, but you know, the saving grace in it all was the performance was there. You can perform as well as anybody, but if, you know, a mechanical happens or a yellow falls at the wrong time or another driver gets into you, you know, day done, job ruined.
Oh, can you believe what you've just seen? This is a nightmare. The track is almost blocked. My goodness. The guys who have dominated this race in the top 3 positions are done.
During the off-season, James became a homeowner and went from being one of the guys at Andretti Autosport to the guy at Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports.
Not sure how I feel about this yet. It's a lot of responsibility. You know, I got a new team and team leader, so to speak, and new house and a mortgage, all these things that I haven't really had to deal with before, but it's exciting at the same time. You know, I mean, that's it proves that you're growing and on track and off. That's something I think that needs to happen to get to that level where, you know, you really are contending for championship. You know what, it's been like coming home because I did run for Sam in lights in 09, and a bunch of the mechanics that, you know, I was working with then, like me, they've graduated up to the IndyCar series, and it's kind of cool to come back and play together on the big cars, and so there's a lot of familiar faces.
I mean, that's close enough, right?
It is, yeah.
That's on.
We were waiting so we can unveil it for you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
As soon as he walked in the door, it seemed like that he just felt like that he was at home, and everybody likes him, everybody works well with him, and he's just a good aspect to have around.
This team has proven the last couple of years that they're race winners multiple times over, and you know, that was a huge motivating factor in wanting to be here. You know, they've done so much in such a short period of time. There's no reason that we just can't keep getting better and better.
Oh! Hey! Oh! Who's that guy?
Better late than dead on time, right? What's up, Buckshot? You right? Good, man. Right, dude. Good to see you. Good. How's it going? Good. How are you?
Driving the team's second car is James Jakes, who returns to IndyCar after a year off the track.
We have a good relationship. It's I think we'll push each other very hard, and ultimately that's what the team needs at the end of the day. You know, we both want to be up at the front and stay there as long as possible through the year. So we're excited to do that.
James is from the north of England, Yorkshire, right? Leeds. My dad grew up in Leeds. James's dad and my dad both came to Canada, and they live 2 kilometers apart from each other. They both have sons named James who race IndyCar for the same team. Pretty freaky.
Hey Jeff, there's a typo. You misspelled his name. That's not how you spell Buckshot.
Obviously decided that having 2 Jameses was going to be a huge pain for the engineers, so we needed nicknames. Now, I kind of come with one, so I'm Hinch. And I told them all, I said, I knew about James when he was running in Europe, and he was Jakesy. That's, you know, the same. Hinchcliffe, Hinch, Jakes, Jakesy. I mean, let's go with that. And he goes, no, that's not going to work at all. Because we need to give him a super American nickname, like something that the sleeveless, beer-smashing fans are just going to love, you know? And we landed on Buckshot.
So, hometown, you gonna come go-karting with us?
When's that?
Tomorrow?
I don't know, is it K1 or Fast Times?
Fast Times. K1.
Yeah, that's where they went last Saturday.
Who? What, Fast Times or K1?
K1.
Electric carts? That's like bringing sunglasses to the movie
I
theater.
know Fast Times tracks, man. If it weren't for the weight disadvantage, I'd give you guys a run for your money.
It sounds ridiculous. I mean, we get to drive some of the most technologically advanced, fastest, most expensive race cars on the planet. Sometimes there's nothing more fun than just coming and beating around in a couple go-karts.
Sorry about that.
That's good TV. We had to do something.
I lived them good.
Yeah, I saw that. The more we spend time together and hang out, and you know, it's all building toward the same goal. So, you know, it just kind of starts to feel like more and more of a team. We get to that position.
It's fun to do anything with a group of guys, and for sure with the new team, there's still some getting to know you to do, and events like this are great, coming out and just rubbing on each other and seeing how people really, you know, react under pressure. We're competitive at solitaire. I mean, like we're wired wrong. There's something actually wrong with us, but you'd think that we could take a nice, casual atmosphere like this and just go have some fun. Absolutely not. That car's got so much grip up there now, man. How many times you start bicycling through there, I'm like, I don't want to go over. Yeah. Dude, yeah. A couple times you're like up on 2, you're like,
We're all drivers, you know. It's always competitive. We can do anything. We can play Monopoly and be super competitive, I think.
I mean, I don't know who was countering that. Was I first twice? Oh, I didn't even realize. It's funny because he's so competitive. I know he hates it. I love karting.
Yeah, I know.
It's the best.
IndyCar Chronicles with James Hinchcliffe is brought to you by Spider.
Hello, 10 o'clock at Q95. You're with Bob and Tom.
Thanks very much for joining us. Do you want to meet our guest?
I do.
He's Hinch. He's James Hinchcliffe, race car driver.
He's the mayor.
Race car driver and
Mayor of Hinchtown, right?
Hinch, good to see you.
Good to
Bob,
be seen.
Did you know that Hinch has his own beer?
Do you really?
I should have
Yes,
brought
he
some. I didn't
does.
think about that.
I think there might be some in the refrigerator, actually.
Is it a
do we put
Canadian
some?
brew?
Well, it's brewed here, but
Okay.
we use Canadian hops. Yeah. So
Okay.
we're trying to keep it, you know, somewhat real to the homeland.
Okay. All right.
Canadian
all right.
hops, don't they make you a little jumpy?
No, Tom. Sorry. No, it just makes the beer colder.
Sorry.
Once again, we're used to your behavior. I don't know why you need to.
But Hinch,
So
what's the name of your beer, please?
Is it called Hinch?
It's called Hinchtown Hammerdown.
Oh, I like that.
Brewed by Flat 12 out of Indianapolis. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't bring any probably because it's early in the morning. I didn't really think about beer at this time.
This is late
for
in the
us,
day
it's
for us.
lunch.
my
That's
friend.
true. That's
Okay?
true.
If we were in the seat of your IndyCar, what are your
There
eyes,
would be-
what are your eyes looking?
It'd
First
be
of all,
crowded, first of all.
First of all,
would be a
you'd have to have it cleaned.
yes, yes. First of all, I'd
You
be
know
getting
what I'm
arrested.
saying.
You'd be sitting in a collection of bodily fluids.
Yes, they'd be all mine. Trust me, I could never do it. But what are your eyes focused on? Do you, in terms of the meters and stuff you're looking at on a dashboard, such as it is in an IndyCar these days?
Well, I mean, it's funny, you know, the actual view outside of the car is pretty limited because you sit so low. The first bit of road that you see is probably about 100, 150 feet in front of the actual front of the car. But that's
So you don't see the turn when you're in it?
no, because you come at it so fast, you got to see it way down the road and kind of predict as you get there.
Wow.
You're kind of aiming a lot.
It's sort of like hitting a baseball. You got to start swinging before it's halfway there.
Is it
exactly
kind of like
right.
counting out a measure of music? 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. For the most part.
It very much is a rhythm. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What kind of speeds do you get in the real race when you're doing the Grand Prix road course inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Well, I'm going to have to go on what people tell me because I was concussed in that race last year, so I don't remember a whole lot about it.
When you use big words around us, we consider it disrespectful.
He hit his head.
Concussed. That means
I couldn't remember
does that
too
mean,
good.
Does that mean your team owner said,
isn't
"Hitch,
concussed?
you son of a
Did not finish. Isn't that what that is?
DNF. That's right.
Then I had a lot of concussions last year.
Jackie Stewart said decades ago that you have to kind of be 80% businessman, 20% racing driver, and if anything, you know, those numbers have shifted even more the wrong way. But it's the nature of the beast, you know, and I think we all know that getting into it.
James Hinchcliffe is going to wind up on the podium.
He had finished 4th 4 times previous, but today he stands on the podium and has his best career finish.
James met his girlfriend Kirsten at the Long Beach race back in 2012. She was there after winning the Miss Indy contest in her native Australia.
I had my good luck charm there, so it was nice. And then, you know, she was allowed to come up onto the podium as well and pose, because I think Will won. So the Aussie guy won.
I was supposed to be standing up there with him, kind of celebrating with him, but I was actually standing down in like third place block with James, kind of like.
Nice try, Will. Nice try.
Yeah. So I called my mom and I said, I'm gonna be home a couple days late. I met somebody, and she said, who? And I told her it was one of the drivers, and she kind of freaked out a little bit at first, but I told her that he was nice. And
smart woman.
I know. And then we came over for the Indy 500 the next month, and he asked me to move in with him, and here we are, 3 years later.
In December, they left their downtown condo.
Come on out, hon.
And have spent the off-season renovating their new house together.
I think any first-time homeowner will use similar words like unprepared and overwhelming and things like that. And I don't think it's any different. You know, coming from a condo downtown, it was so easy. You know, it was just turnkey. You leave for 2-3 weeks sometimes if we're going away, whether it's on a road trip on races or, you know, we go to Australia over the holidays. Now you're just constantly paranoid that something's going to happen. A bit different than downtown, I guess.
Yes.
Are you ready for all this? I mean, there's a lot of greenery and shrubbery to worry about.
I know.
I don't think we even had fake plants in the condo.
No.
It's awesome. It's nice having that place that's yours and getting to do work to it. And hey, we want to change this, we want to paint that, we want to buy this, you know. The place we were living in before, we were renting it furnished. So, I mean, it was a clean slate for us. We had to buy everything. We owned that couch and that TV, and that was it. I don't know, pick a box, any box. That's not too heavy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh my goodness, I can't.
Here, can you get this one? You've been going to the gym. You're nice and strong now.
Shut up,
Breathe, deep breaths.
Shut up, or I'll drop it. It's your stuff.
It's all in the hips. Remember, when you're lifting heavy, lift with your back in a sudden jerking motion.
He is exactly the same way. I don't know how he does it, because you'd have to get tired of being
such a dork all the time.
So loud and just on it. I don't know, but he is. He always is. So
it's not a persona.
He's not faking it. It's all real.
Now that James and Kirsten are settled in their new house, it's time for Hinch to go racing with his new team for 2015.
He's been on the podium twice before, but the mayor of Hinchtown is now an IndyCar Series winner.
I remember everything about the race, everything about the last stint, I remember everything about the cool-down lap. I mean, it was, you know, still to this day, probably the best day of my life. You know, to get that first win, to prove that everything you've been working towards for the last 20 years was justified.
This one, I'm throwing out to Dan. It's his hometown, it's his car. And knowing that my face is going to be in that memorial, that's really special.
The Dan Weldon Memorial is located inside the track and lists all 7 St. Pete race winners, including James Hinchcliffe, who after 3 years with Andretti Autosport has returned to Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports.
I believe things happen for a reason, and we had really good chemistry back in 2009 in Indy Lights, and I really tried to go after him big like 2011, and he was taken, and it was what it was. And then you know, had a great run, obviously 3 years with Simon, and kind of like old home week.
Another member of the team that James has worked with in the past is his race engineer, Alan McDonald.
I'm very fortunate because I worked with him in 2012 at Andretti, and I really enjoyed working with him there. You know, I got to know that his feedback was very, very good, and obviously got to see what a great driver he is. So, yeah, very excited to be working with him.
It's a huge advantage having worked with Alan in the past, and you know, for me, having a guy like that is awesome. I mean, his CV speaks for itself. You know, his accomplishments are plenty.
Not only is James with a new team in 2015, he's driving a new car. Like all the other teams, they're racing to learn about the new aero kits.
The new car adds a pretty interesting dynamic to the first race. You know, obviously, since 2012, we've had the same equipment, and you know, you're learning off years past and can develop and build setups and build experience. And now, we're not totally starting from scratch. Obviously, chassis is the same, but the aero plays a huge part in how these cars perform and how they behave. So it's definitely making us all work a little harder. I think it's causing some sleepless nights for the engineers, but we just got to get it done.
James and his team have struggled to find speed all weekend, and qualifying was no different. They'll start the season opener back in row 8.
James Hinchcliffe, another driver not advancing to Q2 here this afternoon at St. Pete. Tell us about your qualifying run.
Times are close, and you know, I think we were in the stouter of the two groups, but you know, that's just excuses. We got to work a little bit harder and get ourselves in a better position, I think, for tomorrow. But if you look at look how close the times are, it's not going to take much. I don't think we're far off, car setup wise. We just got to find a little bit, and then we should be right there.
So after a long off season, adjusting to a new home, on and off the track, it's finally time to go racing. IndyCar Chronicles with James Hinchcliffe is brought to you by Spyder, where life is limitless.
St. Pete obviously is a special place for me. It's always the first race of the season, so everything's so possible when you're in St. Pete. And so that whole energy and vibe of that first race is just unbeatable.
All the way from Canada to see the big race.
All the way from Canada?
Absolutely.
Oh, why?
With race fans coming from as far away as James Hinchcliffe's homeland, he and the other drivers prepare to start the 2015 IndyCar season.
I recommend not braking on the inside of turn 1 at all, ever.
Where are you starting?
Behind you.
I'll give you a gap. Go all the way to the fence.
I've started in the front couple rows of St. Pete. I've started in the last couple rows here, and man, the start can be manic. That wide runway just leads people to think there's way more room in turn 1 than there really is. And it's the first race back. It's your first time in anger, trying to get by other cars in 6-7 months. So it's usually pretty hectic, usually pretty frantic.
Here's the mayor of Hinchtown, the one and only James Hinchcliffe.
Thank you so much.
Good time, man.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun out there, Bob.
Appreciate it, man.
Good luck, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Drivers, start your engine.
Here they come. Will Power leading the field to the first green flag of the season. We're underway in St. Pete.
Leaders are accelerating. Green, green, green.
The field gets through turn 1 clean. And Hinch stays locked in 15th place until their first scheduled pit stop on lap 16.
We will do one turn of front wing, made a front tire pressure adjustment, and new red tires. Copy. You have it clear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clutch. Clear.
Hinchcliffe in for a pit stop, front wing change, air pressure change. They went from the primary to the red tires, the first of the contender cars to make a stop.
Need you to run hard while you have the clear track.
By lap 24, Hinch has moved up to 11th place. And there's another incident on the track.
Contact, Munoz 26.
And Simona Di Silvestro, who's actually with the Andretti Autosport team.
Full course yellow. This is for the debris in turn 10.
I don't know why they waited so long to throw that yellow. There was everywhere.
Yeah, they were waiting for everybody to cycle through on pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, that would have helped us.
Absolutely.
They waited as long as they could to give every person an opportunity to pit, then close the pit, because if it ever goes full course caution and you're closed and you haven't pit, you go straight to the back.
The caution flag delay cost the team valuable track position, but Hinch was still running in the top 10 when trouble found him.
I've been hit. I think I got a flat.
Copy. Right rear. Right rear, yeah. It's the right rear. Just do what you can to make it back.
Chavez.
There we go. Just enough to get to the sidewall of that right rear tire and deflate it.
All those little pieces flying around, it just takes one little needle of that to puncture a tire.
And for Hinch, you got to feel bad because that contact happened in the last corner, and then he's just past the pit lane entry, and he's got to limp all the way around the racetrack after the tire goes down.
I guess since 3 wide into turn 10 didn't work, you tried passing where no one's ever passed a car in IndyCar history.
Yeah, we saw it. We're getting in touch with the race control now.
rookie Gabby Chavez was penalized. But the damage had already been done for James Hinchcliffe, who battled to stay on the lead lap and used the second half of the race as a test session for the new aero kits.
Here comes Montoya, his final turn onto the main stretch. The checkered flag lies just ahead, and Juan Montoya wins the 2015 Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg.
Good job, guys. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Can't be hell of an off-season. Thank you.
Not the day we wanted, but we had a lot going against us. Thanks for the hard work today.
It was a frustrating day there, but way to hang in there. We didn't quite get the yellow we needed at the end when we stopped early, so we had to save more fuel than I thought.
At the end of the day, Hinchcliffe finished where he started, in a disappointing 16th place.
And I didn't say anything about it at the time, but to not throw a caution, just because there was guys that hadn't finished their pit stops, as somebody that's been knocked unconscious by flying debris, I found that offensive. I found it irresponsible and offensive.
James Hinchcliffe, certainly not the way that you wanted to start your Schmidt-Peterson Motorsport career. Tough afternoon after a tough weekend.
Yeah, I mean, toughest 16th place I've ever had, but it's too bad. You know, I think we found some things for pure speed in the car. Unfortunate to get caught out by not having that yellow when we should have, and getting hit by Gabby there and going a lap down. It's one of those things, when you're back there racing in the thick of things, sometimes stuff like that happens.
Even though he didn't get the results in the season opener, James Hinchcliffe has found a team. And as he starts his 5th IndyCar season, it's a place that he can certainly call home.
My life is nothing what I thought it was going to be like, but I mean, I love every minute of it. I don't think anybody outside of the sport really understands or appreciates what really goes into it and how involved it is and what it takes to do this job. But for all the long days and tons of travel and all the things you could try and complain about if you really wanted to, it doesn't matter. This is the best job on earth, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So great to meet you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Next time, right?
Next time. You guys are